10 years ago this month, U.S. forces captured the infamous Butcher of Baghdad.
Well, it's certainly a night that Tennessee State Senator Mark Green will never forget, because the former Army doctor actually spent that night with Saddam Hussein. Fox 17's Erika Lathon's here now with more on Green's role in what turned out to be a pretty historic capture.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine basically spending the night with Saddam Hussein? Well, Green says that during the night of Saddam's capture, the former dictator had a lot to say. In fact, they spoke through an interpreter, but that midnight conversation lasted for some 6 hours and led to some amazing insights into the mind of the former dictator.
Who can forget the images of December 13th, 2003? The world's most wanted man, Saddam Hussein, was found hiding in an underground spider hole.
Suddenly we have the guy. I mean, we have captured Saddam Hussein, and I am walking into the cell to spend that first night with him. The elation of the moment of having done that, the moment in history, the weight of it was on my shoulders as I walked in the room.
At the time, Green was an Army ER doctor assigned to a U.S. Special Forces team. He was asked to stay with Saddam so he didn't kill himself.
He calls me over to take his blood pressure, sort of, motions, and so I come over and I'm taking his blood pressure. And when you're taking somebody's blood pressure, you're right in their face. So I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, and Saddam Hussein just very nonchalantly says, when I was younger I wanted to be a doctor, but politics had too great a hold on my heart. So this image of the Butcher of Baghdad taking the Hippocratic Oath to do no harm started that 6-hour conversation.
The historic night is detailed in Green's book, A Night with Saddam.
I think some of the things that stand out to me from the conversation was just Saddam's megalomania. He said all of humankind comes from the Tigris and Euphrates River. In fact, everybody is essentially an Iraqi. Everybody on the planet is an Iraqi, and I'm the president of Iraq. He was saying, I can do whatever I want. I'm the president of the world. And I believe that was his mentality.
But Saddam had a different side.
I remember reminding myself, Mark, don't become enamored by this guy, because he'd kill your family for even a false confession. But he was extremely charming, and I got the thought of this is what cult of personality is.
While history will remember Saddam's capture, Green says we shouldn't forget the soldiers who made it possible.
They are unbelievable professionals who are totally dedicated to the freedom of this country, willing to write a blank check, cashable all the way up to their life.
And Green shared another interesting coincidence. His father is a Baptist minister. He says his parents decided to fast and pray that Saddam would be captured on December 12th. And within 9 hours of that undertaking, Mark says he was actually walking into Saddam's cell. Now, there's a lot more on our conversation with the senator. Just go to fox17.com. Erika Lathon, Fox 17 News.